Hello ladies and gentlemen to the UKTC award ceremony for the season that has just concluded. The 2025 season has now ended, the LGT scores have been submitted and we do have some winners for you. So thank you very much for joining us. Before we get on to the UKTC winners for this season, I do just want to do a quick recap of the LGT. The biggest event in the world and the biggest event we've ever hosted has just concluded. And for those of you that missed the awards there, I would like to reiterate them to congratulate everyone who won something and wasn't able to collect it on the day. I'd also like to just say a few words of thanks to all of you, as well as those that made the UKTC this year possible, as well as the LGT itself. Every year I do a speech all about how all you need to do is bring one mate and eventually we'll have the biggest event in the world. And of course this year, those of you that have done that helped us break history. What we have now done is run the biggest ever Warhammer tournament. We had 1,085 players take part. We had more World Eaters players than the second biggest tournament at the whole of the LGT. So congratulations to everyone who entered, and no matter where you placed, whether you went 10-0 or 0-5, congratulations for coming and being a part of history. We appreciate every single one of you, no matter how well you do. Hopefully next year you'll be able to add one more win to your record. So there are a few announcements about the UKTC going forwards before we get on to the awards. This year we hosted 13 super majors across the UK, or more pertinently across England, and it's with great pleasure that I'm able to finally announce that the UKTC is indeed fully a national level circuit, with our first event appearing in Scotland in 2026. We also have new events in Windsor and Bedford, as well as the ITTs returning once more. For those of you that love our Leicestershire event, obviously it's one of our favourites too, and it isn't going anywhere. That will feature on our ITT circuit again this year. We saw over 4,000 players, 4,876 to be precise, across 522 events this year take part in UKTC. So although we do have 13 of our own, 16 next year, we are a tiny proportion of the UK scene. The vast majority of the scene is made up by those of you that go down to your local gaming store every Saturday and play in an RTT. While we have the biggest super majors and overall biggest event in the world, we also have the most RTTs in the world. A real testament to show what the grassroots 40k scene is like in the UK. We have more local competition than anyone else, and it's fueling the growth throughout the entire scene, and we couldn't be more thankful for those of you that take part. The UKTC season is of course now over, however the next season has some notable improvements that I would like to quickly cover. We are launching an official ref training program. What this program does is ensure that all the refs we use at our events are held to the same standards as our head referees. We have some of the best quality referees in the world and more reps at refereeing 40k games than anyone else. In fact, if you add together the second, third, fourth and fifth biggest TOs in the world, the UKTC still has more reps than all of them combined in terms of games managed. What we would love to do is share that with all of you, no matter what level of event you attend. And we'll be doing this through our ref training program. This will be 100% optional and 100% free. We are never going to charge for this, and we are never going to obligate any events to use it. However, events that would like to take part, we have the ability to train referees who may host local RTTs in your area up to the same standard as we hold our refs to at the super majors. This will give refs rewards and bonuses, as well as lovely free goodies and attendance to our events, so it really is a win-win-win. A win for you guys, the players, as you can go to more events at higher standards of quality and consistency, knowing that you'll be able to have fair treatment no matter where you play 40k. It's a win for the refs, who are able to access free training and perks such as free event tickets and some nice merch, exclusive only to the ref training program. And of course it is a bonus to Warhammer more generally as we elevate the state of the game globally and continue to have the UKTC push boundaries and elevate the game globally. Before we get on to the awards, I would like to just say a few congratulations. This event this year saw the first NTR conclude, and the Mind Goblins have been awarded the first ever national team rankings champions. They absolutely smashed it this year, so massive congratulations to them. The LGT has obviously concluded, and we do have some awards to give out still for those of you that didn't collect them. please get in touch, because we do keep them, but not forever. So if you're attending a UKTC event soon and I'm about to read out your name and you didn't get your awards at the LGT, please come along to an event soon, shoot us an email and we'll be able to give it to you. So for the LGT, we had our wooden spoon winner, David Fox, our most sporting player, Ben Martin. Ben Martin also took home our best painted unit for his Silent King. Best painted single mini is James Matthews' Disco Lord. The best painted army runner-up, third place, Oliver Stubbs' Knights. In second place for best painted army was Brad Glover's Knights. And our best painted army overall was, of course, Joe Dino's Kroot. For those of you that have attended UKTC events regularly, you're probably familiar with both the Kroot and Glover's Knights, fantastic armies, and we have laid down the gauntlet to Joe Dino. Unfortunately, we've basically said to him he has to up his game next year and bring something other than his fantastic Kroot. Well done to all of those guys. We also have our best faction awards to give out. World Eaters, Sam Dickinson. Tyranids, Lee Page. Thousand Suns, Brett Smith. Tau, the world's best Tau player, Lewis Smith. Space Wolves, John Hamer. Space Marine Astartes, Josh Ferguson. Orcs, Nick Roberts-Moore. Necrons, Mark Rumbleholm. Leagues of Votann, Greg Chamberlain. Imperial Knights, Rhys Darvis. Imperial Agents, Erin Lavie. Grey Knights, George Williamson. GSC, Andy Mitten. Forces of the Hive Mind, Samuel Godding. Emperor's Children, Sam Boardman. Drakari, Nurin Brewer. Deathwatch, Lewis Ballington. Death Guard, Alex Nikolic. Dark Angels, Matt Pocock. Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, Jonathan Summerfield. Chaos Knights, Oliver Berry. Chaos Demons, Charlie Simpson. Chaos, Edwin Smith. Blood Angels, Jordan Checkley. Black Templars, Lewis Archer, Astra Militarum, Martin Cooper, Eldari, Joe Winter. Samuel Martin with Adeptus Mechanicus. Custodes, Berger Johannesson. And Sisters of Battle, Marcus Grube. Congratulations to all of them. As well as our bracket winners, we have Luke Hammond winning Best in Bracket 1, Alex Laher Best in Bracket 2, Callum Mahey Best in Bracket 3, Strawn Robertson Best in Bracket 4, and Josh Ferguson in Bracket 5. Congratulations to all of them. We also have a very special award that we have to give out. Of course, Best Overall is an award that is very, very hard to win. Not only do you have to have impeccable sportsmanship, a very nicely painted army, and great performance, but you have to do all three at the same time, which is very, very hard. So we'd like to give a massive congratulations to Alexandre Sacco, who not only finished second overall in the event, but also won Best Overall after being a fantastic sportsman, which you'll be able to see all of his games that we recorded still up on uktc.tv. So go check them out, because it really is a fantastic example about how to play 40k in the best possible way. And in particular, his final with Liam VSL, both absolute gentlemen, playing the final for the biggest ever 40k event in history, and not a single sportsmanship issue throughout. So well done to all of them. We also have our Unconquerables. These are everyone who went undefeated at the event, but didn't win a top prize because they were busy playing in the finals when we gave out the awards. So we have Ines Wilson, Christopher Langton, Andy Quest-Cohen, Paul Newberger, David Gaylard, Marco Santapadre, Will B, Ben Jones, Chris Cho, Jay Seabram, Brian Sipe, Ratnu Vaidya, Nassim Fouchain, Borja FM, Thomas Douche, Paulie Wallace, Kyle Grundy, Caleb Langlehas, Ben Pritchard, Richard Grint, Ivan Begovic, Rory Andrew, James Marsden, Dom Ridley, and Alan Perkins. So well done to all of those, our Unconquerables from the LGT. Congratulations. But of course, we do have three final awards to give out. Boris Michev in third place with his Empress Children, Andrei Sacco with his Drakari in second place. Congratulations both of them. And of course, our champion Liam VSL. Liam continues his reign, third LGT win in a row. It's kind of unfathomable to understand just exactly how hard it is. It's actually his fourth win in a row at the LGT, because last year he won the Invitational as well. So congratulations to Liam VSL, everyone who watched this game. It was an absolute phenomenal performance, making history as he proves that he is the best 40k player to ever live. So if you want to check that out, go on to Wargames live, where the final is broadcast and still up for you to watch. So congratulations to everyone who came to LGT. Thank you again for coming. It was an absolute pleasure to host you all. Now, moving on to the UKTC season. A new season will begin at Coventry in just 3 weeks, but we do have the awards to give out for the season just past. We have regional awards, so this is the best in the region. If you're from Yorkshire, you might win best in Yorkshire. If you're from London, you might win best in London. These are not awarded to the people that win overall. However, they do coincide with people who win faction awards, and we are going to start off with those. So, without further ado, we have our World Eaters. I will read out the top 3 for each. However, only the first place will be getting a prize. You can collect these prizes at any UKTC event you attend over the next 6 months. Just shoot us an email saying you're coming and you want to collect your award, and we will prep it ready for you. So, World Eaters, we have in third place Daniel Greaves, second Aidan Sutherly Gilmore, and our World Eaters champion Sam Dickinson. Tyranids, we have Matthew Langton in third, Greg Chamberlain in second, and Scott Morris in first. Thousand Suns, we have Strawn Robertson, Alex Fowler, and Brett Smith in first. Tau, we have Ross Tully, then Kyle Grundy, and Will B in first. Space Wolves, Paul James, followed by George Leatherly and Mark Owen, best Space Wolves. Space Marine Astartes, Toby Bennett, followed by Christopher Radford, and finally, of course, Josh Roberts, best Astartes. Orcs, we have Jack Tite, Tom Godfrey, and Brian Sipe, our best Orcs. Necrons, Matt Bell, Mark Grumblehome, and Aidan Quas-Cohen. Well done to Aidan. Andy, beg your pardon. Well done to you, Andy. Leagues of Votan, we've got Alex Gins, followed by Paul Bridge and Greg Chamberlain, our second repeat winner. Obviously second place in Tyranids and now our Leagues of Votan champion. Congratulations to Greg. Imperial Knights, we have Dom Ridley, Oliver Campbell, and Reese Darville in first place. Imperial Agents, we've got Max Berry, Tim Cartledge, and Jacob Wells in first. Imperial Agents, I know, are very coveted and sought after awards, so congratulations to all of them. It is worth noting as well that our best factions only take into account the top 4 events, whereas the overall rankings take into account your top 6 events, so there may be some discrepancy between where you rank overall in comparison to your faction rankings. It's also worth noting that obviously somebody may have played 6 different factions and have a very high overall ranking while not actually winning any individual faction. To continue, we have Grey Knights. We've got Jacob Wells, followed by Adam Gladders and Marcus Hinson, best Grey Knights. GSC is Tom Lohman, followed by Ben Jones, and then Andy Mitten in first. Forces of the Hive Mind, Ben Jones, Scott Morris, followed by Andy Mitten again. I do believe that looks a bit like a BCP error there as Forces of the Hive Mind, but if not, congratulations to Andy Mitten. Emperor's Children, we have Kobe Walters, followed by Luke Townsend, and Sam Boardman in first place. Drakari, we have Ben Pierce, followed by Darren Chapman, and the one and only Archon himself, Paulie Wallace, in first place. Paulie, obviously a staple of the 40k scene, having won Best Painted multiple times, and this year's LGT his best ever performance at a tournament, making his way through 5-0 to the top cut. So special congratulations to Paulie Wallace and all of you that have been around forever and are continuing to elevate your games. Congratulations to everyone. Deathwatch, we have Luke Cook, Matt Charles, followed by Aliazi Ugola, our best Deathwatch player. Congratulations. Death Guard, Craig Bedford, Aidan Smalley, and Nathan Roberts in first place. Dark Angels, Conan McNamara, beg your pardon, Connor. Jay Seabroom in second, and Toby Bennett in first. Chaos Space Marines, we've got Samuel Smith, Jonathan Summerfield, followed by Josh P in first. Chaos Knights, Jay Middlecoat, Chris Cho, and Ratner Vaida in first place. Chaos Demons, we've got Franco McDonald, Byron Siddo, and Christopher Langton winning that one. Blood Angels, Aidan Brocklehurst, Jordan Checkerley, and Christopher Radford in first place. Astra Militarum, David Gaylord in third, Gustavo in second, and Martin Cooper in first. Eldari, we have Chris Patterson in second, Clement Tornade in second, and Vic VJ in first. Adeptus Mechanicus, Johnny Simmons in third, Brett Cable in second, and Samuel Martin in first. Adeptus Custodes, Alan Perkins, Nate Waite, and Rory Andrew in first place. And finally, we have Sisters of Battle, where we have Wade LG in third, Dominic Matthews in second, and Kian Tan in first. Congratulations to all our ranking winners for factions. It's great to see those of you that are faction specialists absolutely smash it this year. More and more people, as the game gets more and more balanced, sticking to one faction throughout the season, and it's absolutely great to see that finally being paid off, both with GW adapting to the rules and creating a very, very balanced game. I don't think we've ever had a more balanced version of 40k than we do right now. Obviously CSM taking home the LGT win this weekend, Drakari in second, both armies that are arguably not meta factions and yet still able to take home fantastic placings at the world's biggest event. Now on to the best in regions. The regions are divided up by North East, North West, Yorkshire and the Humber, East Midlands, East of England, London, South East, South West, West Midlands and Wales. We do have awards also for Scotland and Northern Ireland. However, because of how BCP works, we have to manually locate our regional winners, and as such it was not possible to easily identify who won those. So if you are Northern Ireland based or Scotland based, this is based on where you live, then please get in touch if you believe that you are the highest ranked person from that region in the UKTC rankings, and we will happily give you awards. So apologies if we don't read out your name here. However, we do have Oliver Campbell, our best in the North East, Matt Bell, Northwest champion, congratulations both of you. Moving slightly further south, in best in Yorkshire, we've got Brett Smith. In East of Midlands, we have Greg Chamberlain. East of England, we have Will B. London, Brian Sipe. South East, Martin Cooper. South West, Jonathan Summerfield. West Midlands, Christopher Radford, and our Wales champion, Rhys Darville. Well done to everyone there. Moving on then to our best teams. There are two rankings for teams, however we do disregard the BCP team rankings as these reflect singles performance and not team performance. As I mentioned earlier, Mind Goblins did take home the first ever NTR trophy, which was awarded to them at the LGT this year, and now it is with great pleasure that we will read out the top 10 teams for this year's NTR rankings. Lots of very familiar faces in here, or names rather, but we would like to say massive congratulations to these guys as team events continue to grow, and we have not only the biggest team event in the world with our winter ITT, we've now got the second biggest team event in the world with our autumn ITT, and these events are absolutely great fun. So if you're just new to competitive 40k and have been playing a few singles events, we do encourage you to start forming a team so that you can attend these events. In 10th place we have Try Hard Wargaming. In 9th we have Carnage, who took home their first ITT win this year with the summer ITT. We've got Mind Goblins C team, I believe that one is, in 6th place. Beg your pardon, I've started in the wrong rankings, so beg your pardon for that. Let's go again. Ignite in 10th place, Crow Team 6 in 9th, Tryhard in 8th, Carnage in 7th, Mind Goblin C Team in 6th, Alfarius 6++ in 5th, Sigil B Team in 4th, Vanguard Tactics in 3rd, Sigil A Team in 2nd, and Mind Goblins in 1st. So a couple of duplicates there as we see the strength of these mega teams. Mind Goblins obviously in there with 2 teams, as well as Sigil as well. So congratulations to all of you guys. It's fantastic to see a Crows team in there, famously the biggest team in the country, with I believe now getting close to 100 team members. So if you are looking for a team and don't currently have one, head on over to their Discord and I'm sure they'll put you up in a fantastic team. Well done to all of those teams, and in fact to all of those teams that competed throughout the season. We had 215 different teams. That is over 1,000 people taking part in our NTR ranked events. The NTR is just our 4 ITTs over the course of the year, the autumn, winter, spring and summer ITT. So well done to all of those guys. Moving on finally to our overall winners. We have 3 more names to read out, and it may come to very little surprise who has won overall. He has absolutely smashed it this year with multiple super major wins. However, before we get on to him, we will go through 3rd place, which is a relatively newcomer to competitive 40k compared to some of the names I've been reading out today, but a fantastic gentleman who has been elevating his game over the last 2 years. In third place we have Andy Quass Cohen. Well done to Andy. Also a faction specialist there on his Necrons. Somebody not so much a faction specialist, but definitely a specialist at being a very, very good player and a great sport. In second place, we have a gentleman who has played multiple different factions throughout the year, winning some of our super majors. We have Ben Jones. Well done to Ben. And finally, a record that is quite staggering, probably second only to Liam VSL's fantastic triple LGT win. This gentleman won the Bristol Super Major, third at our huge Nottingham Super Major, second at our Manchester Super Major, won at our Leeds Super Major, second in our Leicester Super Major, sixth in the Sheffield. So of these events, he's never placed lower than sixth. Absolutely fantastic score. He has been ranking up over the course of the year. Very, very unsurprising for most of you who've been following competitive 40k that Josh Roberts has indeed won the 2024 to 2025 UKTC season. Thank you so much for being a part of this year. It's been the biggest year we've had so far and one of the easiest to run from a sportsmanship record. We have fewer and fewer issues each event we host. In fact, at the LGT this year, where we had over 1,000 players playing 5 rounds, equaling 2,500 games of 40k played, we had less than 5 serious sportsmanship issues. This is a tiny, tiny fraction, and I couldn't encourage people anymore to get involved in competitive 40k. It really is the best way to play if you're strapped for time, or if you want to see how good you are, if you want to make new friends, any of the above. It's a very social experience, and it's an absolute pleasure to be hosting you all. We hope you'll be taking part in the next season. We do have events already live. As I mentioned earlier, the Coventry GT is coming up very, very soon. In fact, that's just 3 weeks away and features 2 super majors. We have a 5-round GT level event and we have a 8-round super major level event. Both of these effectively will be super major in size, so you come to whichever one works for you. However, the original definition of super major meant that events had to have 7 rounds to be called that. So we have 2 events there. That will be followed very swiftly by an absolute massive autumn ITT. Following that, we have, of course, our favourite Christmas event of the year, the Leicester GT, where there will be Freeman's pies and presents for everyone. Followed by that, the massive Nottingham GT, then the world's biggest team tournament, 3rd biggest event in the world, the Winter ITT, albeit given LVO numbers this weekend, that is now jumped to 2nd biggest event in the world. So the Winter ITT in February, the Manchester GT in February, the Windsor Super Major in March, and then we will have a variety of other events all coming up soon. I believe at the end of this month we'll be launching Sheffield and the South Coast. So get involved early, because building that score up at the beginning is very much a way to stay ahead of the game, and our Super Majors are of course the best way to accumulate a high score. The bigger an event is and the more rounds it has, the more points it contributes to your score no matter where you finish. So please do come along. You can get tickets to all our events over at uktc.events-store. Hope to see you there. Thank you so much for watching.